In high school, I remember giving my white friends permission to use the word nigga if it was in a song. And in high school, I remember regretting that immediately. I'd be driving and my white friend would just be there firing the N-word off frequently throughout the song. And the whole time I was like, bro, chill. This is Sweet Caroline. Like, I don't remember a version Neil Diamond wrote with the N-word in it. You know what I'm saying? I hope you noticed that I was 10-2 / 9-3. Safety first. Then they got smart. And every time I drive, they'd be like, hey, Justin, can we listen to some gangster rap or possibly some Negro spirituals? And I'd be like, are you serious? For real? Of course we can, man. Thank you for asking. I patted him on the leg. I didn't do what you thought I did. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sweating the Small Stuff. I'm your host for today, crack cocaine or any Kardashian, because I'm not sure which had a more negative effect on the black men that dabbled in either. This is my 5th episode, so I figured maybe every few episodes I could tell you a story from my childhood so you could kind of understand why I'm so stupid, why I'm so dumb. This one's a bit on the long side, but I really think you'll appreciate it, especially the guys. I used to get whooped when I was younger. Scratch that. I used to get my ass beat when I was a kid, okay? But it was never for the same thing twice. I learned my lesson. And contrary to popular belief, I actually do have a stepdad. I don't really fuck with him now, but that's a story for another time. But when him and my mom were married, when we were living in Georgia, he was, of course, the one doling out the punishment. And he was a big dude, you know what I'm saying? So he'd take me into the garage, he'd have me put my hands on the deep freezer, take a step back, and then he'd hit me with a flip-flop a handful of times. White people, I know this sounds terrible, like beating your kids, but you know, you're right, it was pretty bad. But it was effective, but he was psychological with it. What he would make me do, he'd bring me down to the garage, he'd do everything that I just said, and then he'd say, I forgot my flip-flop, Justin, go get my flip-flop. Making a kid dig his own grave, like, come on, dog. Like, you walked me all the way down here just to send me back up because you forgot your flip-flop? I'm gonna stop there. So I remember this time, I was fed up, I wasn't in the mood, I had a shit ton of homework to do, and I don't want to turn in homework that has teardrops on it because obviously ass whoopings make me cry. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna go hide this fool's flip-flop. And they had a pretty big closet, but I don't know what my mind was thinking. Of course he'd find it or he'd make me find it. Like, it's not like it would disappear. I was 10, don't judge me. And I remember in my parents' closet, they had these 2 giant plastic blue bins that lived on top of each other. And I was like, perfect hiding place. When I opened that bin, you remember in Pulp Fiction where Vincent Vega opened Marcellus Wallace's briefcase? And then the gold light illuminated him? That's exactly what happened. It was a bin full of VHS tapes of porn. Now, my mind wasn't fully comprehending what I was seeing, you know? I'm 10, you know, and I hadn't actually seen that before. Like, I had seen boobs, kind of, you know, when I'm watching movies and my mom tells me close my eyes, but I go like this, you know, and I see some titty meat here, or like a side boob there, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, they were topless and then they had stars down there, you know, because like, I guess when you sell it, you couldn't show it. That's why for the longest time I thought women's were actually shaped like diamonds in the sky. So what I do, because my mind's overwhelmed right now, so I start taking the tapes out and I start putting them around me and I stagger it so I can take in visually everything that I'm seeing. It looked like that scene from Suicide Squad where the Joker's laying around all his knives. Those knives were all VHS tapes. It's a good visual representation if you watch that shitty movie. I don't know how long my stepdad was standing in the doorway to the closet. I remember seeing him. I go, Dad, what is all this? I'll never forget what he said. He goes, you know what? You learned your lesson. I never really wanted to spank you. He's like, so how about I not spank you and we just keep this, you know, this stuff between us, you know? And I'm young, so I don't understand that I'm being manipulated, but I go, yeah, duh. And so I didn't get spanked, of course. After that, so when I would get home from school, I'd be home for about an hour and a half by myself, an hour to an hour and a half. And I remember I would run upstairs, pop a VHS tape in and watch it. I don't remember exactly how much I watched, but I watched enough I watched it. Okay, I watched it. And so when you're watching that at 10, stuff that you should not be watching, your brain's still developing and whatnot, I don't know. It's not something that, I don't know, you could really differentiate between real and fake because, you know, porn's not real. But when I'm watching it, I'm like, this is real. I'm 10. I'm like, so this is how sex works. At a young age, I had sexualized women before I ever had any kind of intimate feelings of wanting to be with one, like romantically, like in a relationship. I wanted to sleep with them before I wanted to be with them. And that, I feel, is definitely one of the main reasons why I have had so many issues in my past relationships. Yo, it was so much porn. It was 2 bins. I had only opened 1 bin and I was surrounded by tapes. Man. So yeah, that's insane, but that's my story. I hope you enjoyed it. Just to give you a kind of glimpse into my childhood. I had a pretty decent childhood, but that's one of the stories that you're like, all right, man, this kid's got some issues, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so for this week, to get to know you all, if you could drop your favorite movie down below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button because that helps out a lot too. Yeah, I'll see you all next week. Peace.